So welcome you all today to the Sunday Gita class. As you know, by now you would have already started feeling the benefits. If you really think of the things you learn in the Gita, every child can learn to develop more focus. They can work on their life skills. They'll become calm. Their anger will be reduced. They'll have more compassion because they'll see Krishna everyone and everywhere. And they will achieve success because they will have single-minded focus. And you will also have good control over your tongue. Okay, especially if you start chanting, Krishna will dance on your tongue and clear all your impure thoughts. And you'll have a pure thinking, and that will lead to right communication. Okay, so now let's move on to the next slide and start praying. Om Ajnana Timranasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharne Nidvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane. Say with me, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Say together all of you, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Good. So today we are going to try and finish chapter 15. It's called the Yoga of the Supreme Person. This is all part of Gyan Yoga. Remember, I told you chapter 1 to 6 is all about a mix of Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga, and chapter 7 to 12 is Bhakti Yoga, sandwiched between Karma Yoga and Gyan Yoga. And from chapter 13, we have started the Gyan Yoga. And we have learned, we got so much Gyan about what is Kshetra, what is Kshetragya. We learned about all those 6 questions which Krishna asked. There was a tough chapter in chapter 13. And then we learned about the modes of material nature, the 3 modes of material nature. What are they? Anybody remembers? What are the 3 modes of material nature? 3 gunas. Modes are also called gunas. Prakriti ke 3 gun. What are they? Who remembers? Anushka, Arav, Nisha, somebody tell me the 3 gunas. Yes, Anushka, you have raised your hand.
Ma'am, Rajogun, Tamogun.
Yes.
And
Sattvagun.
Ma'am, Tattvagun. Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Thank you, Anushka, for answering that. That is very important. We'll be understanding these 3 gunas mainly. Okay. So let's move on. In chapter 15, these are the things you will learn from verses 1 to 5. We have already done verses 1 to 5. How to become detached from the material world is through being attached to Krishna. When we become attached to Krishna, we can easily become detached to the material world. And why? This was shown by the tree example. This whole world is like one big banyan tree. Why is the world compared to a banyan tree? Because it is so vast and so complex. When you're in the material world, your thoughts are in the material world. You will be, these modes, Rajogun, Tamogun, and Sattvagun will pull you. Come on, be with me, and you will be sometimes in Tamogun. When you're feeling lazy and sleepy, you will be in Tamogun. When you're driven by ambition, I'll defeat everyone and I'll just be the topper. You'll be like competitive mood. You'll be in Rajogun. And oh, I'm so good. I like being good. I'm happy being good. That time you're in Sattvagun. But we have to try to actually rise above all these 3 gunas so that we can reach towards the spiritual abode. This tree that we are in now, banyan tree, is actually inverted. Can you see in this picture under 1? This material world is just a reflection. Yes, Misha. So this world that we see around us made up of material gunas is just a reflection. And we are here stuck here because we have desire to be separate from Krishna. Because we have desire to be separate from Krishna, Krishna said, okay, here is a material world for you, which is actually a jail for us. Okay, we don't know that. Only because only those who are starting to understand spirituality, like all of you are blessed children, you are starting to understand spirituality. You're able to start giving importance to your soul now. You understand, but from the Gita 1st chapter, 2nd chapter itself, you know that this body is really not who we are. We are actually the soul. And when you start understanding that, you will slowly start understanding that we are in this image, we are in this reflection of the real spiritual world, which is so vast and beautiful. And Krishna talks about transmigration of the soul, how the soul will goes from one body to another once more. And we learn in the verse 12 to 15 how Krishna is the real maintainer. So slowly by now you would understand that Krishna is actually maintaining everything. If you have a desire not to be with him, Krishna will make you forget Krishna. Who are the atheists? They have a strong desire to enjoy the world without knowing that every single material enjoyment is temporary and will surely only lead to sorrow. So they want to continue enjoying. That's why they are stuck. But slowly, like children like you, come and understand that Krishna is maintaining us, and the whole the Vedanta Sutra summary is actually here. It's a Guhya Tamam Shastra, a very secret thing which everybody cannot understand. Okay, it's very secret. So here we learnt about this big tree. Up above you can see the Vaikuntha Lok, and even above that is the Golok. The Golok, Vrindavan and Vaikuntha, they are beautiful heavenly places which exist. The Gita tells us that they exist. Krishna tells us that I am in this is the real world. We are all, stuck in this tree below. Last class, Nisha had pointed out all the different things which are there, and how, if you are doing pious acts, you will slowly move upwards to the heavenly abode. If you're doing, wrong acts, you will slowly move downwards in this big tree. And Krishna tells us, come on, take the acts of detachment. Take the acts of detachment and cut off this tree, and then you can reach straight. You'll understand that you are the soul trapped in this material body, trapped in this subtle body. Everything will disappear when you become Krishna conscious, and you will straight away you will reach. In fact, even when you're living, you can be Krishna conscious and have no connection with the material body. You'll do all your things like normal people. Other people won't know that you're actually Krishna conscious. They will think, Arey, wow, he's doing everything so nicely. That's because you have single-minded focus. You're not bothered with competition. You're not bothered with anything in this material world. You just want to please Krishna because you know you belong there, right? So you become Krishna conscious people. And so in summary, let's quickly go through 15.1 to 15.5. Children, when the meeting will end, please rejoin in the same link. We will study chapter 15 till 11 o'clock. So in the first 1 to 5 of chapter 15, Krishna mainly goes on reminding us, come on, become detached from this material world. Understand that this is temporary. ये शरीर, आखिर मिट्टी में मिल जाना है. It has to just go, keep on remembering that all the time. But also remember that you're not going to end with that. You are forever, you are the spirit soul, beautiful and pure, and you belong there, right? And then we went through this, how the branches are the senses, the leaves are the Vedic hymns in this material world, the fruits are dharma, arth, kam, and moksha, and the roots are going upwards, and the real tree is up. And why is this tree there? It is on a reflection of desire. What is this tree made of? It is made up of the three material modes or gunas, sattvagun, rajogun, and tamogun. When we rise above these three gunas, become detached, take the act of detachment, cut off the tree in our mind, and we reach the spiritual world. Okay? So, this is, what do we see here? We are seeing that understanding this inverted tree, that this material world you see all around you is just a reflection of an original spiritual world. Why should we believe it? Because we trust scriptures, because we know that there is one God from whom everything is come. And who is that God? His real name is Krishna. People will call him like God, Lord, and any other name, but though different names, but his real personal name of the Lord is Krishna. And he manifests because of desire. Why is this world manifested? Because of our desire to enjoy separately from Lord. We just, at some point, the soul thought, you feel envy towards the Lord. Why should Lord have everything? And then we are born on this world, and we then get trapped because karma phala, and Krishna has nothing to do with all that. Krishna maintains everything, but he has nothing to do with all that. We just have to we get everything in our life because of our own karma, of our previous karma. Once we become Krishna conscious, all these karmas will burn away and we will straight away be able to go to the spiritual world. So Krishna says, just follow, if you follow the Veda, you increase, just following the Veda to increase enjoyment in the material world is ignorance. Some people, they do Vedas and pujas and pray, oh God, give me a lot of education, make me the topper in the class, or give me a lot of money, give me a great job, give me IIT admission, this and that, but that's all material world. They are ignorant of the real purpose, okay? They are not understanding that all this is just material. Do things, go. I'm not saying don't go for IIT, don't do your, give your life for the service of this world. Definitely go ahead, but keep the real purpose always, give time for spirituality for your soul. So life lesson we learned here is that this reflection may not be factual, but it is indicative of a reality experience of this material world and its varieties. It indicates the existence of a spiritual world, full transcendental world, full of transcendental varieties. So in science they cannot discover this, children. That's why in schools they cannot teach this, because we cannot see the spiritual world or understand God through our senses. And in schools they will teach you only what you can see, the limited, the senses can only see limited. Our senses are even untrue. Sometimes they cheat us. What we see is not real, right? So they actually sometimes cheat us also. And the schools will only be teaching you science and stuff like that through what you can, only the limited small understanding through the senses. But if we go to our scriptures, we have those with transcendental real knowledge. And if we understand and start meditating on them, we will also realize what they have realized. Okay, so let's quickly move on. How to free yourself from this reflection? You have to have a goal. Everything you need to set a goal. So even you have a goal, I'm going to please my parents and do my studies. I'm going to do all my work neatly. I'm going to be organized. Very good. Do all that. And also keep the goal that I am going to go back to the spiritual world. I don't want to keep on being stuck in this material world. If you meditate, children, even a little bit, if you meditate, you'll be able to feel that this world is actually temporary, and you will be able to feel in your heart that there is something more permanent. The deep thinkers will get that feeling, and you're all, I'm sure, among those deep thinkers. So you need to surrender to a God from which the whole world originated. And how can you surrender? You have to be prideless, no expecting honor. So that is a tough thing to do. Okay, you have to become prideless. You should do things, and doing this, it's for Krishna. I'm not bothered whatever result. It's all Krishna's. I'm just doing it for Krishna. And not thinking that this is mine. ये घर मेरा है, ये बंगला मेरा है, ये कार मेरी है, गाड़ी मेरी है, ये jewelry मेरी है. Nothing. Everything belongs to God. We are all temporarily, staying here. This house, like you go to a hotel, do you think that, oh, this is mine? No, you know that I'm staying here for 2 days. Something यहाँ 2 दिन के मेहमान है, I have to go. So you know that this is all temporary. It belongs to Krishna. Nothing belongs to us. And so you give up lordship. In your mind, you are very clear. Nothing belongs to me. This body, nothing. It's not mine.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, very nice, Misha. I can see that you're understanding. And how can you become detached? Through attachment to Krishna. So if you know your correct designation, that Krishna, that is a God, he owns everything. He is supremely beautiful, powerful, and everything. And you understand that your position is to simply serve the God, then you will choose the right way. Which way? Will you choose your own way? But I'll do what I want, or will you choose God's way? Which one will you choose?
God's way.
God's
God's way.
God's way.
Yes. How will you know God's way? Simply by chanting and keeping your mind free from desires and proprietorship. जब आपके अंदर अपनी खुद की desires नहीं रहेगी, I want this and I want this, I want sense enjoyment. When that burns away, you will be pure, and automatically whatever you do will be God's way. It's not anymore your way. Okay? Yeah, I'm glad to see that some of you are answering. Can someone explain this table to me? Difference between material world and difference between...
Ma'am,
Yes, please explain, Nisha. What is the difference between the
Ma'am.
spiritual world and material world? Nisha.
Ma'am, spiritual world is permanent and true love and have true happiness true relationships, and no sadness, and four real problems are absent.
What are the four
And in
problems, Misha? What are the four problems? You remember? What are the four problems?
the four problems that
Birth.
I don't know.
Birth. Even birth actually is very painful. Okay, we think that अरे बच्चा जन्म लिया कितनी खुशी की बात है, but actually the child has gone through huge pain to come out of the mother's womb. So birth, and after birth, what all do we get? What does everyone suffer from? Diseases. Okay, and
Diseases,
then slowly what will happen to everybody? We will have to become
older,
old age, and finally we have to go through the very painful problem of everybody has to do the final exam. What is the final exam? What is the final exam? In chapter 8 we learned. हर किसी को ये फाइनल एग्जाम देना है, लेकिन कोई याद ही नहीं करता है कि आई हैव टू डू दिस फाइनल एग्जाम. Which is this final exam?
Ma'am, leaving the soul.
Yes, death. The soul leaving the body. So birth, disease, old age, death. These four things come to everyone, and they are not there. They are absent in the spiritual world, and it's called Vaikuntha, spiritual world. Why? Kunta means all worry and sadness. Vai means no.
yes, ma'am.
Spiritual
Ma'am,
world is nothing.
in the
Ma'am,
material
Vaikuntha
world,
means a place
is-
where it is free from transcendental world.
Vaikuntha is the transcendental world, free from material world, no material problems. Free
ma'am,
from society. Yeah, Misha,
in
you can
the
continue. Yeah, thank you,
material,
Anushka. Misha, in the material
the-
world, what happens? Yeah.
it is real but temporary, and true love is lust, and true happiness is temporary, temporary
Temporary
happiness,
happiness.
and true relationships is temporary relationships,
Yes.
and no sadness.
Only
So
sadness. Yeah.
only sadness,
And
and four real problems are present.
yes, so in this material world, we have lust. No, actually, true love is not possible. Even if we love somebody, it is, "Arey, mujhe ye chahiye." If I marry this person, I'll get this, I'll get that. Everything is actually selfish. True love will come only you can give that true love to Krishna. And when you love Krishna, you will automatically love everyone because you know Krishna is in everyone. Okay, so let's move to
Ma'am, but it is the material world, not
yeah.
spiritual world.
Yeah, so the
We
material
have
world,
to
there is
make it.
lust.
We have to make it spiritual world.
Yes, we have to make everything transcendental. Okay, so this is a picture of this transcendental world or the spiritual world where we are all trying to go. Okay, so if you look at this,
Yes.
what are the qualities of the spiritual world? We just saw that, right? What are the qualities? It's a place where there
No
is
birth, no death, self,
effulgent, effulgent.
effulgent, no disease, old age, complete bliss.
Yes, so that is where we are all. Do you all want to go there?
Yes.
Yeah, so we all want to go there. So Krishna is explaining. Thank you, Misha, all of you for participating. Now we have only finished 1 to 5 and we have all the rest we'll finish in half an hour. Please rejoin when the meeting ends in another 9 minutes. In 15.6, Krishna says, न तद्भासयते सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम. He says that real abode of mine, the Lord is saying that where I am living, that abode of mine is not illumined by sun, moon, or electricity. Yes, Misha?
What language it is written in this first one?
Down it is written in Hindi and up it
But
is
in
Natad Bhashayate is the English written the same thing, Hindi. And under that is English translation.
but ma'am, it is like
Sanskrit.
line.
It is Sanskrit. And English with a line shows that instead of saying bha, you should say bha. It's English.
Oh,
Those are just symbols to say that instead of sasanko, when the dot is there, you will say shashanko. Like that. Okay. The lines and dots are symbols. So here Krishna is saying that that abode of mind, which is a true spiritual world, there is no need for sun and moon and no need for electricity for light. One who reaches the spiritual world does not need to return to material world because he is in the true understanding that Krishna is the owner of everything. Okay, that this is the picture again. That abode is not illumined, so you can understand even the people there, the souls there, they are self-illumined. They don't need light, external light. Is sun chahiye, moon chahiye, bulb chahiye. There is so much of brilliance already. It's a beautiful, brilliant world. Okay, you cannot even imagine that beautiful Golok Vrindavan where Krishna lives. Krishna's abode. Abode means home. The Lord's real home is there. Okay, where we all want to go. So life lessons are, Arav, can you read the life lessons for me? Arav is there. Where is he? Arav, are you not there? Okay, Anushka, read the life lessons.
Yes, ma'am. Material world is a temporary resistance.
Residents.
Spiritual adobe of the Lord is our original eternal home. One who knows this is the actual knower of Vedas. And they wished happily ever after is a wishful thing. Only spiritual world is permanent settlement.
Yeah. So people when they marry, they say, oh, and the story will end, they live happily ever after. That's not true, right? Everybody knows. We say that they live happily ever after, this world is not free from problems. Some problem or the other will keep coming. Now we come to 15.7 to 11, where Krishna says that the real identity we should understand, we are not the body. Okay, we keep on changing bodies. In chapter 2, we learned in detail how we keep changing our bodies. And some people can never understand this. Okay, they will say, they can't understand. Soul unko samajh mein nahi aata hai. They don't want to know because they're afraid. Oh my God, the soul will keep on going on. They can't even want, they don't want to believe it. They want to just enjoy this world and enjoy sensual pleasures. But who can perceive? Only some people in this world. Krishna says only some can understand. Most people cannot understand. Then in 15.7, Krishna says, the living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Krishna says, all of us, every living entity, I have got the Krishna's real fragmental parts. We have within us, the soul is the Krishna's parts itself. Due to conditioned life, because you're conditioned, okay? So that is why we are struggling so hard with our six senses, which includes mind. Our five sense organs plus mind is equal to six senses, which are driving us mad. We are running after all material pleasures because we are trapped in this body. So here you can see again in this picture how the word karshati is showing struggling or trying very hard. We are trying very hard. This conditioned soul is bound like by chains, and we are bound by false ego. We think, oh, we are this body, I am a woman, I am an Indian, I am a Hindu. All these identities actually don't exist. It's all just driving us crazy because we are bound by this material world. And then we have in the next verse, the real relationship with Krishna is that the real understanding is I belong to the Lord. That's all, nothing else we need to know. And then in the next two verses, Krishna is saying that the living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions from one body to another. Just as air carries aroma, right? If a wind is blowing, it blows over one dirty, stinking kachra and then it comes, it will be stinking. If it is blowing over one beautiful rose garden, you will get the smell of the nice rose flowers, right? Similarly, when our body will end, the soul will come out and all the thoughts, if they're all, we have all so many desires and it's too crowded, we will take a body like that. Automatically, suppose we have too much desire to all the time eat, we will be next born as a pig. Because the body will carry all those aromas of whatever thoughts it has and it will go into that body, whichever body is according to our desires which we have at the end. If the soul will quit the body when it is having good thoughts, you will be ending in a higher world of heavenly planets or in higher birth. If your thoughts are with Krishna, you will straight away escape material world and reach the spiritual world. So just as the air will carry the aroma, The soul will carry the subtle body. The subtle body is made up of mind, intelligence, false ego. And it will carry all that wherever, according to what we are carrying, our thoughts, emotions, there the body, it will take the new body. The living entity in the material world carries its different conceptions of life from one body to another body, just as air carries aromas. So consciousness changes according to modes. So here Krishna is saying in this verse, the living, okay, this is the same one, okay. At the time of death, the consciousness he has created will carry him to the next type of body. We don't know what type of body. That's why it's very important to understand the Bhagavad Gita and to learn all these things. Otherwise, people who don't know, they will keep on getting desires and they will be running the whole life like mad people after desires. After they die also, they will take a body of a dog or a cat or an insect according to whatever desires they have. And if instead he has fixed his consciousness on godly qualities, he will change into the form of either a demigod. And if he's in Krishna consciousness, he will be transferred to Krishna Loka or spiritual world. That's why it's so important not to be attached in this material world. Okay? Now, okay, yeah. The living entity thus takes another gross body, obtains a certain type of ear, tongue, and all that. We will obtain as per what we desire. Okay. So let's look at who can perceive Krishna. One who has Jnana Chakshu. So all of you have Jnana Chakshu. You have eyes of knowledge now because you understood the Bhagavad Gita. And how will you develop Jnana Chakshu? By reading scriptural knowledge to some guru who is, of high position. Like right now, we are following Srila Prabhupada's books, so we can get, true knowledge. And who cannot understand, those who don't have intelligence, Krishna says Vimudha, those who are stupid or foolish, they are, fooled by this lusty world and have desires, they cannot understand this knowledge. Only those who have developed spiritual knowledge can see that the spirit is different from the body, it's changing its body and is enjoying in different ways. Why did Krishna create this material world?
Ma'am,
Yes, Misha?
ma'am, because of that we learn that
Because we have
that when we die, we'll go to spiritual world.
If we keep Krishna in our mind, we will go to spiritual world. But why did Krishna create this material world? Because we had desires to be separate from Krishna. Okay? The material world is only created because we, the souls who are right now in this material world, we wanted to enjoy a world without Krishna. So Krishna said, okay, fine, here's the material world